let's talk about soul connection. When we talk about soul connection, what we mean is a higher part of you that reminds you of who you truly are. No matter what culture, religion, denomination you grew up, no matter what Vedasham you have, always have the wise people be referring to something higher. We could call it the higher wisdom, higher intention or intuition. And in energy work, we say that there's a frequency, let's say 30 centimeters above your head, that we can call seat of your soul or higher self. But you can choose any name you want. Just for a moment, assume that there's something higher here that carries higher vibration, higher information, that can help you discover things, maybe understand things, that can even guide you. Now the question is, what happened to our connection to that higher source? Imagine a child being born, and in a certain way you can feel the magic that this child is still connected to. It's very open, everything is interesting, everything is full of life. I remember when I was a child, I would talk to things and to plants and to animals. I was very trustful, I was very, in a certain way, open. But then things happen. Life happens. And this connection can be narrowed, it can become tight, it can even be distorted, or even blocked or cut. Now that doesn't mean that the source is not there anymore, but it means that our access to this higher is distorted. Let me share my little story with that. As I said, I think as a child I was very open and curious, and music talked a lot through me. I think I was very much connected to my soul through music and nature. Then I had to go to hospital. I was about five or six. And in the night, some children were crying. We were about 15, 20 children in one big room. It was an old hospital. And the night nurse came, and I said to her, "Oh, listen, so-and-so is crying because he's crying for his mama." And instead of saying, "Oh, okay, now I know," or to go there and comfort him, she grabbed me by my curls. I really had curls. Since then, I don't have anymore. And she was, kind of shaking my head. And that was such a shock to me that I think I didn't recover from that for more than 30 years. Because in that moment, my trust was shattered. And it was also a time where I couldn't see my parents for 2 weeks, and they didn't tell me before. So many little things that came together, even the narcosis, the doctor was yelling to me, "You should not cry, you should, count from 1 to 6 or something, because they still were having narcosis with ether. Anyway, I was vomiting for weeks. But all that together shook something in me. And I think this was one of those moments when my crown really kind of, just collapsed. And I wasn't the same after. I became a very unhappy teenager, unhappy young woman. And there was then some point where I started to ask questions. Is this the way I want to live? Why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? So something in me still had that kind of, seed of searching for something more, something higher. I did psychotherapy. I started singing, something that I really wanted, but everybody told me, don't, you're not a good singer. But I wanted to. So I was searching for something that really opened something inside of me. And basically now I understand that I was searching for that contact, for that soul contact. And through meditation and inner work and a lot of energy work, I was able to, reconnect up, but also widen that connection. So things in my life still happen, but they cannot affect me so much that it really closes. Now, these distortions in our connection to our higher self can happen in many ways. And sometimes they're not even big in the eyes of the outer world, but they are a trauma to us. It can be physical, can be emotional abuse, psychologically. So many ways things can happen, or just the feeling of overwhelm, or a parent that was not well, maybe sick, and they couldn't really take care of you, so you didn't feel, secure, protected, to just kind of continue growing that connection. So I want to invite you to think about, how much can I feel this connection to my, say, higher voice, my intuition? How much am I using it? And what happened to your connection if you feel it's not the fullest that you know it could be?